Alrighty, hey guys, just chiming in, and what I want to do is I want to put these videos together for you because over the last 5 or 10 years I've actually been able to tune into a lot of really cool concepts and frameworks that could potentially help you. And in the last 2 or 3 years I've been busy in my own head and using the abundance that was created through this Isagenix opportunity to then self-fund the next project, which was a self-care book and things like that. And that's just finished up. So now I kind of sat back and I was like, well, what's the way that I can best serve? And I think giving those frameworks to you guys and creating a bit of dialogue and a conversation about it, and rather than being like a telling space of like, hey, this is what you need to do, it's really asking the question, how can we do this together? How can we have a bigger impact together? What's your freedom number? How much money do you need to make to I guess create that breathing space so that you can have the creative license to do the things you want to do, live that lifestyle, to give, to serve, to have a bigger impact, and just be really honest with ourselves about it, because I think this is an amazing opportunity. It's $1 billion predicted company which is going to build to over $3 billion. The UK market's growing 3 times as fast as the Australian market. 16 out of 80 something countries. So if you really see this in the next 5 or 10 years and you have this as like a little side business that you do, and you put the correct amount of time and energy and really collaborate and share in the way that networked enterprises are meant to be done, then you can create a bigger ripple effect as well. When I first started with Peter Kelly about 5 or 6 years ago, I was a physio who had a health ego, and I had a lot of influence and I was able to impact some people and really get the ball rolling. But the truth is that we all needed like a community to be part of. And if she didn't have that community going at the time, it would have been very hard for me to build it by myself, which is kudos to her, because she took ownership and did build it by herself. And she took ownership of it all. And obviously the reward of that is what you see now, right? But she's one of many stories. So the thing is like, let's kick into this. I want to give you one key concept each week and just share, create a dialogue about it. And these are concepts for networked entrepreneurs like yourself in the health and wellness space. So the first one is time. Now the big thing here is we all have 168 hours a week. So the same amount of time as Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Richard Branson, you, me, everybody, we all have the same amount of time. It's how we spend our most valuable resource that really matters. So most of us will sleep about 7 hours a night, which means that 49 hours a week is gone. Rest, rejuvenation, and make sure you do sleep, guys. I know there's the 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. clubs and all that type of stuff, but this is one of your most healthy things that you can do, is make sure that you get a good night's sleep. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, fast, add in the adaptogens from Onyx, do what you need to do. Make sure you manage lifestyle, stress, so on and so forth. Then the other box we have, you got 4 boxes here, is I guess for lifestyle. So the whole point about work and lifestyle integration is that, yeah, sure, we can go all in and spend a lot of time building something, but we want to make sure that we're living at the same time. We don't have to like give up everything. And to be honest, like your self-care rituals, your morning rituals, the things that you do to make yourself abundant and healthy is the thing that's going to attract people to you and to your business. If you're not in a good state of health and well-being, it's going to be very hard to build a health and wellness business, or for people to at least be accountable and do it with you. If you're not fasting, if you're not doing your smoothie bowls, things like that, in your lifestyle, like it needs to match. Like you need to be in a self-development and growth space. Like I've tuned out of the events in the last year because I've been writing the book, but I know to build the second phase of this business, I'm going to be at all the events with Low next year. We've already mapped it out and we looked at where we're going to go. And we're even looking at the promotions, like the Whistler promotion, the retreats and things like that. You get all expenses paid trips, right? So make sure that you're spending a bit of your time living. And probably the biggest thing is win your mornings and have a bit of fun along the way. What that then leaves is these other 2 boxes. So we're looking at about 40 to 80 hours here. Now what you do with this time is what most of us call work, and we tend to make money to cover our basic human needs. Now, the biggest thing with cash flow is if you're living beyond your means, then you'll need more cash to support a lifestyle that might be unsustainable. So, whatever it is, just sit down right now and figure out what is your number per week that means you would have breathing space to cover like food, water, rent, accommodation, phone bills, internet bills, all the basic living costs, And I think for me and Lo, we figured out, for us, it's about $500 a week in Bali. If we make $500 a week that we pay into our personal account, that's enough for covering our basic living costs. Let alone have a bit of breathing space to go out and eat and have fun and so on and so forth, right? So if we wanted more breathing space, we need to generate more income. So ask what your number is, right? $500 a week. You might have a family and kids. It might be 1,000, it might be 2,000, and then we can work from that space, because that's what we want to help you work towards. So then we go, all right, cash flow. You might work your job as an accountant, I don't know, as a health professional, as an artist, as a teacher, whatever it is, and you're going to do your best to cover as much of that as you can, right? Just with your skills, your talents. You might work at Domino's, it doesn't matter what it is, just make sure that you're doing something to meet these basic needs. Now, as an example, Lo was working online doing VIP Kids, teaching online. I was working as a physio, and whilst I was building this business. And whatever it is for you, you need to be doing something. You don't want to quit your day job too soon. Then what it does is you go, okay, well, I can cover that with my job, my just over broke job, in maybe 10 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours, 40 hours a week, right? And whatever time is left, you kind of have that energy to put into your side hustle or your side business, which is a networked enterprise. Look at something that you can leverage. I'll share some stuff about the selection criteria for really abundant opportunities next time, but just have a look at how much time you actually have. So I've got 30 hours a week that I can add to this. Lo's got about 25 hours. Together we've got 55 hours to build this next phase of the business. And then the last box is probably something that all of us want to have, is create some abundance to create, to serve, to do the thing that really lights us up, And the thing is like, if these are all aligned, then that's really helpful. Lo's health conscious. I love the vision for good health and well-being for all people. So Isagenix naturally fits in as something that we can do together. And it's a lifestyle-based business that allows us to live in Bali. So it's kind of aligned on so many different levels. Is it our be-all and end-all? No, I've got other partnerships as well. But the thing is, when you choose one and you choose your partnership for now, go do it and really optimize it. Because Irene said to me, commit for 5 years. If this is truly the thing that you feel will free your time and give you the breathing space. And sure enough, 5 years later, it did for me, and it can for you too, and that's the key point. So all I want you to know is what is the amount of hours you can allocate to this per week? What is your breathing space number, just to cover basic human needs? And then I want to come over here and ask a bigger question. If you write yourself a check for 12 months' time, what is your complete freedom number? Money is energy. The more people you impact, the more people you help other people impact, the ripple effect, so on and so forth. You can generate as much money as you want. There's no ceiling effect of these opportunities. So write yourself a check for 12 months' time. What is that number? For me, I wrote $250,000 in my second year doing this. And I spent probably a year or 2 years self-developing and fumbling myself forwards. I never made that amount of money, but I got challenged. The money was just a mindset. It was an energy-based thing. If I wanted to make more money, I need to have a bigger impact. I need to raise my consciousness. So I wrote myself a check for $250,000, and sure enough, 12 months later, I did my profit and loss on zero, and I made about $249K. And I didn't even think that I generated that income, because I was so busy being busy that I wasn't even counting my finances, right? But I was astonished when I saw that, and just showed me how powerful this consciousness is. Obviously, if you need to elevate your mindset to be able to generate that, go do T. Harv Eker's Millionaire Mindset. Read that book or podcast it. Think and Grow Rich. Grow your mindset for it. Go do some money block and barrier things to get through it. And then you look at it and go, well, shit, I need to impact 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. I need to find out 5 other coaches from all these new markets to help build this next wave of the business in your team. And then what we can do is we can then collaborate and work together. It doesn't matter who you know, it's who we know together. So 168 hours, guys. Have a look at where you're spending your time, breathing number, and your complete freedom number. I'll tune in next week and let's create a dialogue. Anything I can do to help you guys, just let me know.